Hey guys, how's it going? I am attempting to do something today that I have not yet attempted to do in my craft career, and that is make an embroidery hoop thingamabob. I don't know what they're called, but an embroidery hoop thing, pocket that you stick things in. But I'm doing a variation. I am using one of these skeleton mirror frame things that I got from the Dollar Tree last year. And I'm going to do some other projects with this as well, but this one in particular, I am going to be using the skull in there as it is. Now it doesn't have much of a lip like an embroidery hoop does, so I have to create that. So I am cutting up a few pieces of craft foam. This actually has a sticky back, and I'm cutting it at, I believe, 2 pieces that are 1/2 inch, and that's just to make it a bit more sturdy. And I'm going to attach them to each other. This is going to create that lip that there would normally be with an embroidery hoop, where when you put it together, it makes a little bit of a space that you could put things into the pocket. This is very sticky, so it sticks to me, and it sticks to the desk, and it sticks to itself, but in the wrong place. But in the end, I get it to come together, and then I'm just going to shape it around the bottom there to see how much of it I need and what needs to be cut off. Now the other reason why I'm using this craft foam instead of some paper is because it's a lot more sturdy and it is flexible. So to get the pocket at the bottom, I'm going to trace the shape of the mirror itself onto some paper that I want to use for that pocket. And then after I attach my foam, I'm going to cut off the piece that I don't need. So no fancy tools needed for this, just tracing it on the back of some paper with a pen and cutting it out. And then I'm going to use my hot glue gun to attach the foam on there. And I'm going to do it a little bit at a time. I don't want to just put a bunch of hot glue down and then stick the foam on there and hope for the best. And then for some reason whatsoever, I could not get this piece back into the frame, and I had taken it in and out probably 4 or 5 times before this video, and then of course on camera it doesn't want to go back in. So here I'm just looking to see, make sure that it fits, and then I'm going to glue down this foam bit by bit. Now I'm not going to glue it down directly to the edge of the paper. It's going to be a little bit inside the edge. And that's because I don't want the foam to be seen from the outside. I want the paper to be the last piece. I want it to kind of flow a little bit further down than the foam so that you actually don't see the foam there when it's attached. Now after I attach this on, I'm going to go in and reinforce the foam as well to the paper. So what you're going to see me doing is adding another line of glue between the foam and the paper, kind of like what you would do to your tub. And just, adding it in there, making sure that it's sticking really well. I don't want it coming apart whenever it's traveling through the mail, or whether it's holding goodies and it's up on a wall somewhere. It needs to make sure to be stuck really well. And here I'm going to attach it to the frame itself. And again, I'm just going to use some hot glue for this. Oh, but before I attach it, I'm going to use this gate sticker down at the bottom. And I'm just going to cut off the excess here. Now because this is a sticker, it is going to be sticky on the back for the part that's not attached to paper. So I'm going to take some baby powder, some cornstarch baby powder, and I'm going to cover the back side of that sticker to make it not sticky. For those of you guys that don't have one of those anti-static tools, you can use that to do this as well, but cornstarch works really, really well to take the sticky off of stickers that you'd like to use as a die cut. And then I'm going to attach the foam to the frame itself, making sure that it's right there and centered in the middle. Now I know that some of the skull gets covered up, and that's okay. I'm totally fine with that. I just want you to have the idea that there is something printed onto that mirror. I'm going to get all of my little bits and bobs here. I've got lots of paper and lots of stickers. And I have all of these flowers that I have been meaning to use up for a while now. Lots of gray ones, and then some black ones that I had used on another project. I had made a pumpkin several years ago and I'd used it on that. So they've been pulled off of there. So now I'm just going to layer them. They're probably the last flowers that I have left in my stash. I am not a flower girl, and for the longest time flowers were really popular in mixed media, and I think for some people they still really are, but I just have a really hard time using them. I don't do as many three-dimensional projects as I used to, and so I just don't use them, and I'm just not really that into flowers to begin with. But I thought that this was perfect because they were black and they were very spooky looking, almost like they were dead flowers. So layering those up, and then those are going to get attached to my embroidery hoop. I also pulled out some metal flowers from my stash and some pieces that looked like they could be part of flowers, and so I'm layering those up as well. And I'm going to put a few of them on there as well, mixed in with the other flowers. Now when I start layering here, I'm mostly putting things on there so that I have a foundation to stick other things to. So this label that I just put on there with the purple flowers, a lot of that gets covered up, but I'm okay with that because really, again, it's on there to create some sort of a base for me to attach the flowers to and the other pieces that I want to stick on there. So again, I am de-stickying the back of a sticker here, because once I put things in that pocket, I don't want anything to stick to the back of my decorations on the front. I'm just arranging these flowers how I think they look best. I didn't really have a plan. I'm just sticking them on there in a way to where they kind of cover up a bit where the paper meets the frame, and also to create a bit of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Something that's eye-catching on the left side. A focal point. There we go. They're helping to create a focal point. Now these two little flourish, silver flourish stickers there are made of foam, and I've had them forever. And again, I don't use a lot of silver in all of my crafting, but because this had a mirror and there was already a lot of silver on there, I thought, hey, why not? This would be a perfect way to use them, and they'd look really cool with those flowers. This is a skeleton from the Chillingsworth Manor collection. And I'm going to add quite a few pieces of foam behind him, again, just to kind of make him a bit more sturdy, and that way he can attach to the frame. Before I added the foam, he was just kind of floating there and a little bit flimsy, so I wanted to make sure that he wouldn't get ripped off or, you know, get destroyed in any kind of way. I wanted to give him a bit more of a base, so that's what I'm doing here. And all I did to do that was just take some of my sticky back foam that I was using in some of these other projects that you may have seen, and I'm just rolling it up so that it creates a few layers, and then adding some hot glue to that and attaching it to him and the frame. And I'm going to use the remainder of my flowers on the right hand side. I definitely wanted to use them up in this project, so I'm using up all the flowers that I have, making sure that they get on there. And that last metal flower. Oh, I think, yep, instead I switch it out for a spider. I had a couple of plastic spiders that came off some roses last year from Dollar Tree, so I'm using one of those guys on there, and he fit just perfectly. I'm adding a witch die cut here to the top, like she's flying across the top of that embroidery hoop. Just adding her with some hot glue. And now I'm going to start adding little details here and there. I added another one of those silver foam stickers right beneath the spider, and then taking some green bling that I have, some gems, sticking those here and there. Adding a little label, I believe it says toxic. And I'm also going to take that little piece that says frog toes and this little ticket, and I'm going to add those on to the left side as well to create more layers, and again to create a base so that that skeleton and those flowers have something else to hold on to, basically. Makes them a bit more stable. I'm going to add this, it says something tonic. I can't see, but it is a beverage label. Meant to use it on your bottles, for your beverages, for your Halloween party. I'm going to use it here to again give that witch a little bit more stability. Adding on one of those acetate cage stickers that looks like it's got a bird in it. And now I'm just going to layer up a few more pieces. Some stickers, a few die cuts. And there are a few things that I do add to this project even at the end of this video. You know how it goes, you work on a project and then you go back and look at it a few hours later and you think, I could do this, and you add to it. So what I'm going to do at the end of this is include some some photos of the finalized piece, and that way you can get a better idea of how I finished it up even after this video stops. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that you'll come back and check out all the other videos that I have this month for my October Craftoween series. Please don't forget to subscribe and like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!